How big of a problem is quote-unquote trespassing for the police that they have so many signs up and so many warnings about they will prosecute you for trespassing? Strange. I mean, I could see that at like a shopping mall or something, but all these warnings about trespassing at a police department? Who's breaking into police departments? I don't get it. Maybe it's just to keep people from going into areas that these guys would rather them not go into. What that sign should technically say is no admittance. It should say no admittance, not no trespassing. Trespassing is a stretch. No seatbelt. 1105, plate 1038994. No seatbelt. Right past the sign that says, please fasten your seatbelt. As gratifying as it would have been to motion for him to put his seatbelt on, letting him know that he's busted, I'm afraid that he's going to hop on the radio and warn every single officer out there on the road that I'm here recording how many of them don't wear their belts. And that's going to ruin my whole story. So that's why I didn't do it. He'll get to find out later on, unfortunately. So despite this being just a small example, and I hope there aren't still people out there who truly and genuinely believe that the government cares about you for 1 second, or has your best interest in mind for 1 second, because that is the biggest and best lie that our controllers and our overlords, our rulers, have ever perpetrated upon us. Okay, on that note, I'm going to have to come back to this department during a shift change where there's more activity and be able to record how many of these guys aren't wearing their seatbelts. So to be continued. Hey guys, just a camera. I just stumbled upon a gold mine. Some kind of a county maintenance facility over here. And then right next door to that is a gigantic jail. And then next to that is the Cameron County Sheriff's Office. And then around the corner under that overpass right there is the U.S. Border Patrol. So we are about to rock. We're about to party hard, you guys. This should be a very good video. First Amendment and seatbelt audit. Take one. No seatbelt. 1369753 K9. 1369753. No seatbelt. One 127-185 seatbelt. Good job, bud. And another K9. Also seatbelt. 1369752. So I think is it 2 yes, 2 no? I don't know, but I'm glad this went fast because this sun is kicking my butt. No seatbelt, whoever this guy is. man. Seatbelt for this guy. Asked if I was okay. I'm good. Seatbelt 1369768. Good job, bud. But that's a pretty good representation, you guys. I'm honestly impressed. I was not expecting that at all. I really wasn't. And okay, obviously, I'm not saying that these are like the greatest guys on earth just because they have their seatbelt on. But it can be somewhat of an indicator, and it is state law. And I'm sure that they have just as many policies as we used to have that said you must have your seatbelt on. The first guy was in violation. He should technically be getting a ticket right now, but he won't be. So yeah, I feel pretty good about this. If I decide to move on to the Border Patrol station after just those few cars, I'm going to feel like I accomplished something, so all good. PSG 1601. So one of these employees, guys, had their seatbelts on. Yeah, as usual, bosses on down, no one is wearing their seatbelt. And before these clowns left, there was an officer that came in a patrol vehicle, and then he left in his personal vehicle, and he didn't have his seatbelt on. So not one person that just came out of shift change at the San Benito Police Department on Monday, October 12th, 2020, obeyed that sign that they themselves put up. So the clerks that sit there and take your money for all the tickets, the sergeant who's in charge of everybody, and the individual officers leaving their shift for the day, all felt that it was not necessary to put on their seatbelt, despite there being a photographer standing there with a zoom lens pointing directly at them. The sergeant covered up his face with his mask and then proceeded to still drive out without putting on his seatbelt. So San Benito is a huge fail. So I'm gonna have to come back here hopefully tomorrow if I can, and get a bunch of them, write it all down, and then turn it in front at the clerk so that they can send out a little memo to everybody, and maybe I can do like a group complaint and file a complaint against all the employees and officers that I saw here today. They can get a copy of the video so they can know who everybody was. I made sure and zoomed in on them. Yeah, these guys have a serious problem out here. Not one of them had their seatbelt on. Not one. No seatbelt, 123-8038, unit 1301, female officer. No seatbelt for her either. But in case you just arrived, I'm at San Benito Police Department on October the 12th, 2020. And we have recorded every single employee and officer coming out, completely and utterly disregarding the sign that says, please fasten your seatbelt, in addition to disregarding common sense and state law, which says you have to be buckled up. From a sergeant to all the office employees, like the clerk and the administrators, and every single patrol car that's come out and private vehicle, not one of the occupants or drivers has had their seatbelt on, nor have they attempted to buckle it up as they left. So that's what we're out here to document. The hypocrisy of the San Benito Police Department in writing tickets to people, mostly for speeding. That's their main source of revenue, is the speeding. They make their speed limits ridiculously low on very long stretches of old highways that should be at least 45, if not 50. And then they pop people for going above the speed limit and write outrageous tickets. But of course they need a probable cause to pull you over. So they're going to get you for anything. Okay, they're going to pop you for seatbelts. They're going to pop you for license plate bulbs being out, tail lights being out, improper signal change, failure to signal your turn, etc., etc. On and on the list goes. So many different violations that they can get and use to pull you over and get that ticket and generate that revenue. So here's the last one, guys. Last one of the day. Let's see if he brings restores a little bit of faith in the system or not. Because initially it did not look like he had it on. So maybe when I see it on the big screen, it'll look a little better. But that's it, guys. San Benito PD, overall massive fail on the seatbelt audit. You guys suck. You need to get your you-know-what together.